Okay, today we're going to talk about treatments for OCD. This treatment is based on the theories of Reed Wilson, and it's actually quite standard cognitive therapy. It's more cognitive therapy than exposure therapy. One of the things that I've shown to be very efficient on OCD is exposure and response prevention. That means that you are going to do what you really are afraid of doing, for instance, making your hands dirty and not washing them. Exposure, making them dirty and not washing them. Response prevention. So you're supposed to not do your rituals. This is like a training, very hard training, and it's very effective with a lot of people. But some people might think it's too hard. It's can seem mechanical. It's easy for patients to do it because therapists tell them to do it, etc. So Reed Wilson has a slightly different approach. He also thinks of this as training, but it's a training that you can do anytime. And the point is that it doesn't matter what you're afraid of. In ERP, exposure and response prevention, you often think of specific things that you're afraid of. Touching that specific dirty thing, etc. And if you're uncertain about certain things, you train on that specific thing. However, Dr. Wilson says content is not important. Whenever you become insecure, uncertain, did I really wash my hands well enough? Did I kill that man on the road? That bump I heard with my car, was that me driving over somebody? This uncertainty can come on almost anything. And that's why uncertainty is the point. If you are uncertain, then you have caught an OCD thought, right? So whenever you are uncertain, you're supposed to do the opposite of what you've been used to doing. You're supposed to go towards the danger instead of running away from it. Go towards being uncertain instead of trying to get away the uncertainty. So for instance, if you start thinking, oh, maybe I didn't wash my hands well enough. Okay, what you're supposed to do then is to say, okay, there's my OCD. That was one of my things, washing my hands. Okay, what am I supposed to do now? Okay, I'm supposed to be happy that I got an opportunity to train. So, okay, I'm uncertain. Well, this is good for me. Okay, I'm going to continue to feel this uncertainty. Come on. It's like you in a fight, in a boxing fight, you say, come on, come on. Actually, there's a story about Muhammad Ali who did this in a very famous match called Rumble in the Jungle, where his opponent was very strong, and Ali, he just asked him, come on, come on, come on, by going into the corner and just standing there taking the pounding. Finally, after 7 rounds, the opponent was exhausted and Muhammad Ali did a knockout. So this is a bit of the point with Wilson's way of treating OCD, is that you just stay there. Okay, is that all you got? Can you make me more uncertain? Okay, come on, come on, come on. So be willing to take the hit, so to speak, because in the long run, you're going to exhaust the OCD. The OCD won't be able to have control over you anymore if you don't do what it asks you to do. The OCD will always ask you to feel more certain. Go back and check if you ran over somebody. Go back and check that you didn't really steal anything or didn't really destroy anything. go back and wash your house again, wash your kid again, wash your hands again, make sure that you didn't leave any rests of soap or whatever. People have OCD on all kinds of things. People can have OCD about bad thoughts that they thought. For instance, a lot of parents, they are afraid that they're going to stab their children. And the idea there, the treatment would be, okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to stab my children. Okay, that's a thought. That's a thought. Come on, just let it come. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that all people have. At least 80% now agree that they've had these kind of thoughts sometimes. The problem is with people who are very conscientious and love their children very much. They will think, okay, that was such a horrible thought. I should never have it again. I have to try to suppress it. I have to not have this thought. Okay, then you're going the opposite way. Then you're trying to become certain. You're trying to take away the OCD thought, and then you're stuck. Just like, imagine, I tell you, don't think about red elephants. Okay, for 10 seconds. Pop, 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 they pop up, the red elephants, all the time. So, just go the other way and say, oh, okay, it's quite okay that these thoughts come. They are just thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. I feel ashamed, I feel uncertain, but I don't have to get them away. They're just thoughts. Anybody can have these thoughts. So in a way you allow the uncertainty instead of running away from it. So this is the whole point. First of all, the content is not relevant. Secondly, invite in the insecurity. And when you feel anxious because you feel insecurity, say, okay, that's good too. Okay, I'm going to stay in that. Dr. Wilson uses a telecounter where you can give yourself points according to how clever you are in welcoming in the anxiety, welcoming in the uncertainty. So you can give yourself points every time you say, okay, discovered an uncertainty. I'm just gonna let it be there. I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm just gonna feel uncertain. So the point is that you don't really have to expose yourself that much in a way. Although this will come as a natural part of it because you won't wash your hands again. So in a way you will expose yourself, but you will go for a change of your mind, which is kind of different. You will change your thinking about it. Say, okay, hey, there came one of my many OCD thoughts. I'm gonna let it rip. I'm not gonna do anything about it. Just gonna let it stay there. I'm not going to go and wash those hands. I'm not gonna go back and check if I killed somebody. I'm just gonna live in that uncertainty. And many people, they discover that once they make this decision about just living in the uncertainty for a while at least, then suddenly, inexplicably, it goes down quite quickly. So that's not the point. The point is that you're training, and no pain, no gain when it comes to training. You have to do the work. It's not going to come by itself. Okay? So then you're probably going to become uncertainty. Was this an OCD thought? Or was this a real thought? Okay, just live with it. This is another uncertainty. And can I stay with that? Yeah, we like uncertainty in so many ways. Otherwise, we don't want to watch a sports event where we know the outcome in advance, do we? We want to watch a film where we don't know the ending. There's no point watching a horror film for the second or third time. You're not going to get scared, and that's what you want, right? So in many cases we seek out this uncertainty. So do that. Seek out the uncertainty.